I went to school for social work. I was in college for 7 years, accumulated over $100,000 in debt. And as a social worker, that was pretty daunting. I knew I was going to be starting this medical facility with my ex-husband, even when I was in school. It's amazing. I was ambitious, very driven, loved social work. I did so much in such a short amount of time. And I'm not really a conspiracy theorist, but I am a realist when it comes to capitalism and the society we live in. I'm aware that I was prescribed a way of living the American dream that I didn't really know that there was any other choices. I was told, go to college, you try to work hard, you get a good job, you try to get married and have kids and get the white picket fence. And if you can be lucky enough to start your own business and be successful, then you should take that track. And somewhere along the way, as I got older, I started questioning my own motives for following these well-worn paths to happiness and existence. I became a trauma therapist in an effort to understand my family of origin, this world, and what's happening with all of us. From a very young age, I remember being 5 years old in the car with my dad, and I was crying, and he asked me why I was crying. I was watching this woman in a minivan who was driving in very heavy traffic next to us. I was thinking about how I would never get to meet her in real life and sit down and hear her story. I'm a very sensitive person. He laughed it off and said, "Oh, well, you can always be a taxi cab driver." From then on, that was my dream. I wanted to be a taxi cab driver in New York City. Meeting as many people and hearing their stories as possible is what I really wanted. I wanted to be known and I wanted to know people. And so becoming a trauma therapist, also growing up in a household with some addiction and also codependency and a lot of the world's heavy burdens being placed on my parents. And in the 80s and 90s, parents working all the time and an influx of things, just stuff from everywhere, plastics, toys. We were given everything they weren't given because their parents were the greatest generation and grew up through the Depression. I do think that my parents' response was natural. It was to give us everything. And then cable TV came in and we had 300 channels and access 24/7, unrestricted access. We always had news playing in the background on TV and the radios. And then computers came in, cell phones, regular phones. I didn't realize it at the time, but growing up, I was extremely overstimulated. I played a lot of sports. I had a lot of anger growing up. I was so angry all the time. For me, it was overwhelm and stress. Like, I remember going to my grandparents' houses that were spotless and immaculate and nothing ever changed and feeling very comforted. I remember someone telling me in college I had a grandma chic aesthetic to my apartment. And I was like, that's exactly what I'm going for. As a former shopaholic in recovery myself from drugs and alcohol, after getting sober, still accumulating and being on this sort of cycle. Early in my recovery, I read the book Your Money or Your Life by Becky Robin and Joe Dominguez. It talked about your life's energy and putting a lamp or a bowl or a shirt in terms of how long you have to sit at work, minus the work on your car, insurance, taxes, everything, and your real hourly wage and what you're really paying for all of your things. And then flipping the script and saying, what if you, instead of buying anything really that you don't need, that's a short dopamine hit of relief, what if you channeled that life's energy into early retirement? And so the FIRE movement was born within me early on, like 26, 27. And then I started saving, but it took me a long time to grow my savings. I invested a small amount of money in graduate school and then didn't touch my IRA for another 7 or 8 years. We had starting the business, having kids, making some money, paying off student loans, and then starting to build up our retirement account, and then having this big, beautiful business after 7 or 8 years that was worth a lot of money, and making a decent salary, a six-figure salary. Moving to Hawaii, it all come crashing down when I separated from my ex-husband. We did so much. I was a former marathon runner, and I ran an ultra marathon after my second baby. Being a stay-at-home mom and with two little kids, I had no help. There's no community, there's no village today. Paying people to help me raise my kids while also feeling inadequate as a mother and a wife, going through large swings too with minimalism, roller coasters of minimalism where we accumulate a lot of things and get rid of everything and then reaccumulate and get rid of it. I'm saying all of this to help you not feel crazy. After my separation, I went through a very stressful, very heavy survival mode period of time. I quoted a study earlier that said 63% of adults during a 2006 study experienced some level of burnout in their jobs. I make frugality content too, not just minimalism content, because I don't want our things to own our life. We are actually beholden to a place that we rent, to our cars, to our clothing, to anything we buy, especially if it's on credit. Then it's like our future self has to pay for that with interest. We quit short form content about 2 months ago, and we started focusing on some of the things I wanted to prioritize, like making this YouTube channel. And I've grown it from 150 to a little over 600 people in about 6 weeks. It's because I have all this free time back. Once I stopped short form content, I started looking around and realizing all of the things that were calling out to me that I wasn't taking care of, that I wasn't keeping clean. Coming out of survival mode and having some equilibrium with my income and knowing what's coming and the divorce getting finalized, and just feeling like there was space for the first time in a really long time. My kids being 6 and 9 now too, and being out of the little kid, they can go get a glass of water for themselves now. They can actually make some food for themselves now. There's just so many things I want to say. Even just driving in traffic is more stress than our bodies and brains know what to do with in this modern world. And I'm not saying I'm going to stop driving. I'm not saying I'm going to stop doing technology. I love long form content on YouTube, but I also understand a lot of it is self-regulation. I'm still working on being present with myself, being okay, being here alone, focusing and being present with my kids when they have needs and wants and expectations. During my declutter with my crafts, I realized that paint has no place in our household, at least not in this season of life. And some people might think I'm depriving my children of being able to paint at home, but they paint at school quite a bit. And I don't have the capacity to regulate emotionally while they're painting on our rental floor and keeping it clean the whole time and be a good quality parent. So I don't think negative experience in life is bad. I actually think it's just feedback, right? So the reason I ascribe to slow living, minimalism, frugality, retiring early, and putting away as much savings as possible, at least for a short period of time, is because I've had all of this stuff. I've had the big life. I've been a marathon runner. I've done all of the things. I've pushed my body. I've pushed my mind. I've pushed my soul beyond its limits. And none of it cured the anxiety that was happening for me on a day-to-day basis. And the feelings of loneliness and disconnection and mental health stuff. None of it saved my family. None of it saved the world. A lot of the things I was doing was separating me from the things I care about most. I've been rewatching Her 86 Square Meters and Stay with Cotton and some people that I admire on YouTube. Instead of looking at them through a comparison lens, I wanted to extract what are they doing and what do they have that I can take and use in my day-to-day life. And something I noticed in, like, say, Stay with Cotton is that her whole focus is usually cooking, right? She has a garden that she tends to, and she really focuses on her one hobby, two if you count gardening. I realized that our craft area was calling out to me with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different items. And I do make most of the meals here, and I keep the house clean and serene because I'm semi-retired early. I do some work from home, namely YouTube and my fourplex. And I realized that I need to prioritize. It's hard to just do two when you're a mom, but there's just a season right now that doesn't have a lot of space for loom weaving, flower pressing, soap making, sewing. I took a sewing class. I went to 2 classes and I stopped going. And I didn't buy a sewing machine. I used the ones they had in class. I could have bought a $90 sewing machine to have here in the house, and it would sit there calling out to me. I realized after 2 classes of the sewing classes that this is not something I'm going to be spending my time and energy on. I can buy clothes, used or new, and have a simpler, happier life than if I were to learn to sew my own clothing or start a clothing brand. It's not something that I can do right now in this season of life. So I'm making this video because I'm passionate about knowing who you are and being truthful around that, and taking the negative experiences like doing too much shopping and feeling the pain of that, and discovering for yourself what is the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance for me is buying clothing, and if it breaks, to throw it away and or donate it and get something new. The path of least resistance for me is gardening, cooking, hanging out with my kids and my partner, playing volleyball, and just simply moving my body. I canceled my gym membership. Working out 3 to 4 times a week with progressive overload training was just not for me in this season. I have weights at home. I enjoy using them from time to time. I'm in a cardio, meaning walking and volleyball season of life. I am in a playing catch, swimming in the pool season of life. It is something that is on the back of my mind because I'm 43. So I have a feeling that some of the potential injury or maybe the way that I look, maybe the path of least resistance would be to just fit in 1 or 2 weight training exercises at home or with a friend. That may be the path of least resistance. I will sit and stew in my stuff until I'm ready to move again. But for right now, just for today, I'm going to do what I'm already doing. And that feels really good and natural and is without force. I do make frugal living tip videos. So today in my Instant Pot, I made chicken, beans, and veggies, and they all require different settings and different amounts of time. So I cook the chicken first because there is some fat left over in there, and then I cook the beans, and the beans do soak up some of that, which helps with flavor. And then I still use those same seasonings in the same Instant Pot for the veggies next. And then if I want them to taste different, I can then put a little different sauce on them when it's time to put them all together and eat them for dinner later. I know that the Instant Pot uses less energy than the oven, so even if I use that all day, it'll save me money. I just lowered my car insurance yesterday. So this is what clearing out 12 bags of stuff from your life will do, and stopping short form content. It will open you up to opportunities to look at who you really are and to make adjustments as you go. We're getting there. But thank you so much for being here. I would love to see you again, so please like and subscribe for more. At some point in the near future, I will go through my most frugal tips on how to live on a fixed income with early retirement, so stick around for more. Thank you again. Thanks.